What if I told you Porsche once built a car that could swim, or that there's a 4x4 so tiny it makes a golf cart look oversized? These aren't toys or gimmicks, these are real, fully capable off-road machines so small you'll think they're a joke until you see what they can do. Today, we're diving into the wild world of micro off-roaders and the unbelievable engineering packed into these pocket-sized beasts. These are the smallest adventure machines you never knew existed, and by the end, you might rethink what tough really means. First up is the Ferves Ranger, a tiny off-roader that looks like a beach buggy built by a high-end Italian designer. Most people have never seen one, only about 600 were made. It debuted in 1966, and while the name Ferves stands for Ferrari Veicoli Speciali, it's not a Ferrari supercar. Instead, it used parts from the Fiat 600 and Fiat 500, including a small 499cc two-cylinder engine. Even so, it wasn't just a cute toy. The Ranger had an open, minimalist body, a folding windshield, and room for 4 people in a vehicle under 10 feet long. The real standout was the optional 4x4 version. With independent suspension, a low-range gearbox, and impressive ground clearance, this little machine could climb and crawl far better than its tiny size suggested. It became popular with farmers, adventurers, and estate owners who needed something small, tough, and stylish to get around. With only 18 horsepower but a super lightweight frame, the Ranger could tackle terrain that stopped much bigger vehicles. Today, it's a rare collectible and a fun reminder of the time Italy accidentally created one of the coolest micro off-roaders ever made. Everyone knows the legendary Willys Jeep, the World War II hero and the ancestor of today's SUVs. But few people know about its tiny counterpart, the Mini Jeep 4x4. This isn't a toy or a Power Wheels knockoff. These mini Jeeps are fully functioning machines, built by small manufacturers and DIY enthusiasts who wanted a scaled-down version of the classic Jeep that actually works. And surprisingly, they do a lot more than just look cute in a parade. Most mini Jeeps are powered by 125cc to 150cc 4-stroke engines, the same type used in ATVs. That means real transmissions, electric start, reverse gear, and enough torque to climb and crawl. Many even come with true 4x4 systems, complete with locking diffs and high/low range gearing. Add in real suspension and aggressive off-road tires, and these little machines can take on mud, rocks, hills, and rough trails with no problem. You won't take one on the Rubicon Trail, but they're far more capable than their size suggests. Farmers and ranchers use them for daily chores, race teams use them as pit vehicles, and off-road fans love them for their classic looks and practical utility. The Mini Jeep sits in a unique category, half collectible fun, half legit workhorse. And it proves one thing: true off-road spirit isn't about how big a machine is, it's about how well it's built. When you think Porsche, you picture fast, low sports cars, not an amphibious off-road machine. But in 1953, Porsche surprised everyone with the Type 597 Jagdwagen, a tough military vehicle built for a German army competition. And in true Porsche style, they engineered it far beyond what anyone expected. The Jagdwagen had a sealed steel body that could float, letting it drive straight into rivers without sinking. A rear-mounted 1.5L flat-4 engine from the Porsche 356 gave it over 60 miles per hour on land, and a 5-speed manual with selectable 4x4 made it incredibly capable off-road. It could even climb incredibly steep slopes. In the end, it lost the contract because it was too advanced and too expensive to build, so only 71 units were made. Still, the Type 597 remains a brilliant oddity, a tiny Porsche off-roader that could swim, climb, and Next up is one of the internet's favorite tiny vehicles, the Chang Li, often called the world's cheapest car. You can literally order one online and have it shipped to your house in a crate for a few $100s. It's a tiny fully electric NEV, a neighborhood vehicle with a top speed of around 25 miles per hour, meant for slow trips around small communities. On its own, the Chang Li is not an off-roader. It has small street tires, basic rear-wheel drive, and almost no suspension. But its low price and simple design have made it a legend in the DIY world. People everywhere are buying these mini EVs and transforming them into wild off-road machines. Builders lift the suspension, weld on new frames, and even swap in four-wheel drive systems from ATVs. Some add bigger motors, solid axles, and massive mud tires taller than the car itself. The results are ridiculous, capable, and one of a kind. These custom Chang Li builds prove that off-roading doesn't require a huge budget, just creativity. It's not an off-roader you buy. It's an off-roader you build, turning a tiny EV into a mighty trail conqueror through pure imagination. In 1963, a tiny truck changed Japan's automotive world forever. This is the Honda T360, Honda's first production automobile and the origin of the entire K-truck category. K vehicles were built to be small, efficient, and affordable, and the T360 became the perfect workhorse for Japan's narrow streets and rural communities. What made it truly special was its engine. Instead of a basic utility motor, Honda installed a 360cc DOHC four-cylinder, basically a detuned motorcycle engine. It revved to an incredible 8,500 revolutions per minute and made 30 horsepower, easily outperforming anything else in its class. It was a tiny truck with the heart of a sports machine. Honda also offered a four-wheel drive version, which transformed the T360 into a capable little climber. Weighing barely over 1,000 pounds, it could scramble up muddy hills, power through snow, and handle tough farm work without breaking a sweat. The T360 became essential for farmers, construction crews, and delivery drivers across Japan's mountainous regions. It set the blueprint for every K truck that followed, from the Suzuki Carry to the Daihatsu Hi-Jet. A small, high-revving legend that proved a hard-working truck could also be a joy to drive. The Meyers Manx is an iconic dune buggy that started in Bruce Meyers's garage, built on a shortened VW Beetle chassis and finished with a lightweight fiberglass body. It usually runs a 1.2 to 1.6 liter VW flat 4 engine paired with a 4-speed manual, giving it that classic, carefree driving feel. Today, the turnkey remastered versions start at around $67,495, blending modern quality with the original spirit. Light, nimble, and instantly recognizable, the Manx remains a timeless symbol of open-air adventure and pure automotive fun. This next machine isn't a car at all, but it's easily one of the smallest and toughest off-road workhorses ever made. Meet the Crawler Mini Dumper. You've probably seen one on construction sites or in landscaping videos. These compact beasts are built to carry heavy loads across terrain that would stop almost anything else. Instead of wheels, mini dumpers use rubber tracks like a tank or bulldozer. This spreads their weight out, giving them very low ground pressure so they can cross mud, snow, sand, and steep rocky ground without getting stuck. They're powered by strong, high-torque gas or diesel engines and controlled either by walking behind them or standing on a small rear platform. Up front, they carry a hydraulic or manual dump bucket. Despite their tiny size, many can haul 500 to 2,000 pounds, and they're still compact enough to fit through a standard backyard gate. With their mix of small size and big capability, Crawler mini dumpers are the hidden heroes of heavy work, simple, unstoppable, and built to go where other machines can't. Now we reach a true off-road icon, the Steyr Puch Haflinger. If you tried to turn a mountain goat into a machine, this is what you'd end up with. Built in Austria from 1959 to 1974, it was created for military and utility use in the harsh, steep terrain of the Austrian Alps. Named after the tough and sure-footed Haflinger horse, this tiny vehicle is often considered one of the most capable off-roaders ever made for its size. Its strength comes from two major features. First, it's incredibly light, around 600 kilograms, so it can tackle rough terrain without sinking or struggling. Second, it uses portal axles, a system usually found only on huge off-road trucks like the Unimog. This setup lifts the axle above the wheel hub, giving the Haflinger surprisingly high ground clearance. Add independent suspension, locking differentials front and rear, and you get a machine that can climb and crawl over terrain that would challenge even modern 4x4s. The tiny rear-mounted two-cylinder engine may not sound impressive, but thanks to low gearing and great traction, the Haflinger powers through rocks, snow, mud, and streams with ease. It's a brilliant example of simple, purposeful engineering, a lightweight, go-anywhere vehicle that still has a legendary reputation among off-road enthusiasts. What happens when you mix a 1960s beach classic with a modern jet ski? You get the Lazareth Amphibie. Built by French creator Ludovic Lazareth, famous for outrageous machines like flying bikes and V8-powered quads, this little amphibious buggy is his wild take on the Mini Moke. On land, the Amphibie acts like a compact, playful off-road buggy. It runs on a 400cc single-cylinder engine, which is plenty of power for such a small, lightweight machine. With its 4x4 system and durable aluminum body, it's perfect for cruising beaches, exploring trails, and tackling soft sand. But the real magic happens at the shoreline. With a simple switch, a rear propeller drops down, and the Amphibie drives straight into the water. It instantly becomes a small boat, cruising at around 7 knots with smooth, effortless motion. No complicated setup, just drive in and go. This isn't a vintage military experiment. It's a modern, stylish, fully functional, amphibious toy that feels almost ready for production. A tiny off-roader that doesn't stop where the land ends, it just keeps going. This next entry is a little different because it isn't a vehicle on its own, it's a system that transforms an ordinary machine into one of the wildest tiny off-roaders ever. Meet the Arctic Cat Quad Track. It starts as a standard Arctic Cat Prowler side-by-side, but instead of wheels, it's fitted with 4 triangular track units. The result? A compact, high-speed tank for any terrain and any season. Each track moves independently, letting the Prowler climb over rocks, mud, deep snow, and rough ground with ease. The huge surface area gives it incredible flotation, allowing it to glide over snow that would swallow a person. And it's not limited to winter swamps, sand, and slippery job sites are no problem. The Prowler already has a strong engine, a capable 4x4 system, and a useful cargo bed, but adding tracks turns it into something next level. It becomes a tough, go-anywhere machine that can travel where even heavily modified trucks can't, simply because it doesn't need firm ground. It just floats over everything. It's a powerful, practical, and seriously impressive piece of mini off-road engineering. Here's one of the strangest little off-roaders ever made, the Terra Jet. Despite its name, it's not a jet at all, it's a small amphibious 4x4 that has been around since the 1970s. Its standout feature is obvious the moment you see it: huge, low-pressure balloon tires. These oversized tires act as both suspension and flotation, letting the Terra Jet glide over swamps, marshes, and tundra without sinking. It's powered by a modest 20 horsepower engine and uses skid steer turning like a tank, meaning it can pivot in place with a 0-degree turning radius. And its abilities are almost ridiculous. It can crawl up a 45-degree slope and goes straight into the water, where those big tires let it float and paddle forward. The Terra Jet isn't built for comfort or speed. It tops out at around 20 miles per hour, but that's not its purpose. It's designed for the most remote and unforgiving environments on Earth, places where regular vehicles don't stand a chance. Survey teams, rescue crews, and environmental researchers rely on it because it works in conditions that are basically mud, water, and nothing else. Strange, tough, and brilliantly simple, the Terra Jet is a tiny specialist machine that has quietly been conquering impossible terrain for decades. The Tinger Track is a tough amphibious ATV that basically acts like a compact personal tank. It runs on durable rubber tracks and is powered by a 3-cylinder 812cc engine making about 57 horsepower. With a top speed of around 42 km per hour, it can carry up to 500 kilograms and tow another 800 kilograms without breaking a sweat. The interior seats 5-2 in front and 3 in back, and the combination of a strong steel frame and HDPE body lets it handle harsh weather and rough terrain. Built for snow, mud, swamps, and even open water, the Tinger Track is designed for anyone who needs dependable all-terrain performance. Older models like the C500 have been listed at around €19,481, though prices vary by dealer. It's a rugged, go-anywhere machine ready for serious adventure.